Keo X3G. Keo/X3G. That is the name of her username. She wanted to hear a video on Purva Ashada, so I'm doing a video on Purva Ashada, so y'all can thank her for that. Purva Ashada. I did a study on the guys with the biggest dicks. Let's just start with the juicy stuff. And it was hard to do moon placements because you have to know what time someone's born. It was hard finding all those guys' birth time. But all of my exes had long penises, and they were very attractive. That sounds like a flex, but it's truly not. It just goes to show how vain I am. And they were all Purva Ashada moon, which was crazy, and they all had big dicks. Which is interesting because Purva Ashada is a Venus moon, and Purva Ashada it's a Venus star, and Claire Noctis said that she hinted that the Venus moon men are the guys who are well endowed, and so far I'm finding that to be true, except for maybe Purva Falguni, because Purva Falguni, they're very good at sex. But they're not exactly like well endowed, but they are very good at sex though, like probably the best. The reason why I went with those exes was for Purva Ashada reasons, because Purva Ashada is in Sagittarius. So I would initially date them for two reasons. One, I was insanely attracted to them, and two, they were smart. Venus is, and also they were like well versed in culture. Like they knew about singers and actors and movies and just, I don't want to say pop culture, but because that pop culture is such like a shallow term, but they knew about like just culture in general. They had a really good ear. They had a really good eye. I would say most Purva Ashada people I see, I guess I've seen him be good at all mediums, because that one dude he was a piano player and he loved art. And then my other ex was an artist and he was an actor. I mean, it's Jupiter, so it blesses you with something. It doesn't have to be penis size. It's usually they say it's the butt and the hips and everything. I date men, so I don't really have that experience. But so Jupiter makes you tall, so I see a lot of Purva Ashada sun men being at least 6 feet tall. So like Marcus Scribner is a Purva Ashada sun. I can't think of any Purva Ashada sun men at the moment, but I can think of some Purva Ashada moon men, and that's Seth Rogen and I was just thinking about it. What was it? Shit. Ryan, not Ryan Reynolds. Ryan, the one from The Notebook. The one opposite the blonde girl. This is starting out so awkward. I'm trying to say things that no one else says. I don't want to say like, the ruler is Venus. But okay, I just want to say stuff that I like notice off the top of my head. Damn, okay. But here is a couple. Here actually is one thing that I do see being played out is, so they say like the emblem for Purva Ashada is the fan, the decorated fan, and Elvis Presley was a Purva Ashada sun, or no, he was a Purva Ashada ascendant, I think. And when you look at his Vegas shows, he is 100% tricked out. He's got jewels and rhinestones and gems everywhere, sequenced everywhere, all in his suits. They're everywhere. I had a Purva Ashada sun girl student because I teach piano, and first of all, she's brilliant. Like, Purvashada women are so smart. And it's not, and they don't even have to be really much educated. You know why they're so smart? First of all, because they have a lot of compassion. Um, Even though they act crazy, they actually there actually is a maturity there, and they have a real soft spot. It's just compassion. And they also just love to have fun. They love life. They can be incredibly extroverted, Purvashada women. Some of my very best friends are Purvashada women. Like my student now, I don't teach her anymore. She's in college now, but we're friends on Instagram. And she's crazy. But I was gonna say, oh, sorry, I got off track. I was gonna say about the decorated fan is, oh yeah, sorry. She, I remember, she still does it. She decorated her car with stickers. Who the fuck decorates their car with stickers? I'm still mad at her for that. But she decorated her car with like 1,000 stickers, and she has a bunch of those dashboard toys that sit on the, you know what I'm talking about. She has like, realistically, she has at least 10 of them. Which in my opinion is nine too many. Yeah, and she's always dyeing her hair, putting on makeup. I see Purvashada women doing the most with the makeup. I've seen them doing the most. I think it's part of that decorating thing. They just have to decorate it. Just every square inch of available space has to be filled. I think that's pretty cool about them. Because with Bharani and Purva Falguni, Venus's first two nakshatras, Bharani's in Aries, so they're more their sense of artistic flair is more with the self, right? Because it's Aries. So that means that they're going to be more towards excellence, like being the first at things, being the best at things. Now, Venus is a real competitor. And then Venus in Leo and Purva Falguni, that's the relationship, that's the passion. So then they put all their artistic energy. They can be so artistic, but a lot of them, because a lot of them will, Purva Falguni, they'll actually put their artistic energy in towards relationships and being creative in their relationships. And so that's why it's very passionate for them, stuff like that. But Purva Shada, this is Sagittarius now. Sagittarius is the gateway into the very last quarter of the zodiac, right? It's 9. It's the last quarter. I do talk. Yeah. Right. Yes. My math is bad. And once you get into Sagittarius, your mindset starts to lose a lot of petty human things, like relationships. It's you wind up. I mean, you might have other placements that make you obsessed with relationships. You might have. I know Port Fashada and Port Falguni, like mixed in the same chart. But if you're mostly Purvashada and not really much of any other type of Venus, then you'll start to stop caring about, like, I guess, like self-fulfilling things or kind of selfish like things, and you'll have a real heart towards humanity and have a real heart towards the community. And you will start to, I mean, the Sagittarius onward, that's where you start getting into kind of the hero nakshatras. I wouldn't say every nakshatra, and there's definitely hero nakshatras in the first part, the first 3 quarters. But I'm just saying, like, your life gets like very, I don't know how to explain it. Your life gets very purposeful once you start hitting that third part of so Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. You know, the women are pretty. Their faces, um, Purva Shada. Okay, here's the thing. Let me tell you something. I honestly believe it's because it's the horse. The horse, there's so much horse in Sagittarius. There's the centaurs, there's the accentuation on the butt and the hips, and the waist, and and even like Sagittarius men, especially because it's just more what's the chemical called? Hormone? Testosterone. More, just because there's more testosterone there, those men will definitely have like horse faces. My ex had a horse face, but he was still really handsome because he was like 6'5". He had a horse dick, so he was just like, I dated a horse. But yeah, some of these women can sometimes inherit that as well. They just can have like a funniness, like a fun quirkiness in their face. But they'll always have, almost all of them have banging bodies, like great thighs, great butt, beautiful bodies, very soft. So Venus definitely takes care of their bodies. I see a lot of them, Venus women dancing, a lot of Purvashada women dancing a lot, being ballet, hip hop. Like my student, she was hip hop. My other best friend, one of my best friends, she was ballet forever, and she was hip hop. She was everything. So yeah, I mean they're just so extroverted and so much fun. Um, Gosh, I wish Purvashada, Venus is generally good at the military. So, if you've ever wanted to be in the military and you're Purvashada, you would be good at it because Purvashada. I mean, Venus is a warrior. Venus is a fighter. Venus, honestly, Venus is a killer. Venus wins at no mercy. Venus has an objective. Venus is maintenance. So Venus is, because it's a Vishnu planet, Venus is smart. Venus is maintenance, right? That's what Vishnu works on. So Brahma focuses on the creation of the universe. Vishnu focuses on the maintenance of the universe, and Shiva focuses on the destruction of the universe. So, because Venus is a Vishnu planet, which is a maintenance energy, they're and because Venus is the arts, right? So that's why they're going to be not just very smart, but also very beautiful. So like one example I'm thinking of is Sydney Sweeney. She has Venus in her first house, and she's everyone says she's very very beautiful, stuff like that. And she did a lot of what's it called, like military, like harsh, violent roles. And even in the show Euphoria, there's this, I remember this montage of her like spending 3 hours in the bathroom at home, like just upkeeping and the maintaining, like I said, like rolling that rose quartz on her face and doing her eyebrows and just doing the most, just that upkeep, right? And that's exactly what maintenance is. That's what Vishnu is about, the maintenance of the universe, And so that, I always thought that was a cool scene because that kind of, for me, was like the girl version of a dude who is fixing his car, because that's also fixing your car. That's technically engineering, So that also would be Vishnu. People who are Vishnu, which is Mars and Venus and Saturn, they're all good maintenance people, whether that be physical maintenance like Venus, which is like the beauty part, like you're maintaining yourself, like you are the object of the maintenance. And then like when you're Mars, that's more outer maintenance where you're more focused on like actual math, fixing things, stuff like that. But that's why Purvashada can be very smart. They can be very well rounded. When Purvashada Mars is there, I see them having a really nice house and very clean, and they're very particular about their home. I mean, I guess that makes sense because we do look at aspects. We look at fourth from Mars and we look at eighth from Mars in a Jyotish chart. So fourth from Mars is talking about mother. Fourth from Mars is I mean, fourth house is the mother, right? Why am I talking about? Oh yeah, because fourth house rules the home. Fourth house rules security. So like Mars, fourth house from Mars, that makes sense. Why am I talking about that? I'm so sorry. I'm just going on and on and on. Um, oh, Purvashada is a good warrior. So many people are so many warriors of the most famous warriors in the world. Where's Purvashada? George Washington was a Purvashada, I think Moon. I think he had a long penis, which honestly, duh. Of course, our nation's first president had total BDE, obviously. Ugh. But also Hitler was a Venus, was a Purva Shada moon. Unfortunately, that also is a big. I have to say, Hitler might have been really well hung, but that makes sense too. When you have, I'm sorry, Jupiter is also foreign places. So if you're in Sun is father, right? So if your son is in Purvashada, it's possible that your father came from very far away, or he's from a different background, or from a different country, something like that. And that could be wherever Jupiter's placed. And if your Purvashada is in your mother, then your mother could be foreign or from a very far away place. Jupiter can be distance in general. So you might, if you have a son in Purvashada, you might not know your dad. If you have your moon in Purvashada, you might not know your mom, or they might have died early, or something like that. There's some type of like distance, either emotionally or distance like physically, where they come from. Like they come from a faraway place. So, for example, when I said Jupiter anywhere, like my second house is ruled by Jupiter, and I come from immigrant parents, so that makes sense, right? I don't see a lot. I do see spirituality. I do. About half the time, I do see spirituality and religious aspects from Purvashada. But I mostly see philosophical, you know, like not just studying different philosophies, but living them. Like having a phase of I'm atheist, or having a phase of I really believe in God right now. Having a phase of, well, I'm kind of agnostic. Having a phase of, just like actually living it. That's kind of what I like about them. I think I'm coming to a close because I'm tired of trying to think of stuff to say, which kind of sounds desperate, and I'm not desperate. I'm just kidding. All right, guys. I love you. Bye.